minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Live from the Cheap Seats. I'm back. How we doing, ladies and gentlemen? I know exactly how you're doing tonight. You are doing excellent because we are NFC South Champions 2021. That's right. We own this division, not the Saints, not the Panthers. Thank you, Panthers. And not the Falcons. We, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, are the NFC South Champions of 2021 with a 32-6 victory over the Carolina Panthers today. We are 11-4 with only 2 more games left in the season. One of those being against the Panthers. The other one being against the Jets. Wow. What a game, right? Almost a little like watching a Darlington race. Thanks to a little NASCAR hat here. It was enjoyable. You could have fallen asleep at some points and woken up and still got the same result. Tom Brady led this team. Didn't have to do too much, but he still led and did a lot for this team with a very depleted team. Getting a little bit of help with a nice little run from Keyshawn Vaughn, 20 carries from Ronald Jones, Antonio Brown catching basically everything, a rising star in Cyril Grayson. We had it all. So let's get through the stats here first before we get into a little bit more of the in-depth of the game. Tom Brady went for 18 for 30, 232 with 1 TD. Keyshawn Vaughn ran that ball 7 times for 70 yards, and he got his TD. Ronald Jones, 20 carries for 65 yards and a TD. Cyril Grayson and Tom Brady both ran it 1 time as well. That's right. Tom Brady had an 11-yard dash. That was pretty cool to see. I got to get I have the full stats here, actually. We'll get to those in a second about how much rushing yards he's got this year. Antonio Brown, 10 receptions for 101 yards. Cyril Grayson, 3 for 81. Rob Gronkowski got in there with a catch for 23 yards. Ronald Jones got 2 catches today. Dropped a couple, though. Cameron Brate, the only touchdown catcher today, 2 catches for 11 yards. This defense, though, who the heck, what is going on in everybody's Cheerios? Like, what is everyone eating now? Is it success? Is it realizing that in a few months, if you don't start putting up some numbers, aka shutting out some people here, we're going to lose that Lombardi that you currently have sitting in Raymond James Stadium? So look what this defense did. We got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and a half, 7, 8. That's right. I just wanted to make sure. I didn't want to say 8, and then all of a sudden, like, they realized, oh, someone got an extra sack. 8 sacks today. Kevin Minter, Vita Vea, Shaq Barrett, William Goldston with 2.5, Anthony Nelson, Steve McClendon, all getting involved in the sack category. Jordan Whitehead having himself a game. 6 individual sacks, 1 assisted with an interception. Mike Edwards, good to see him back as well with 4 tackles. Kevin Minter showing why he is a great backup linebacker and why I should have never said his word at all even though I'm the one that said in the offseason we should have got him. Wow, was I ever wrong. It's good to have Kevin Minter on board doing exactly what he is supposed to be doing. Leading this defense. All around, this defense is starting to look golden. It's starting to look pristine, as in we are ready for the playoffs. Yes, we got 2 more weeks before the playoffs start. Unless we get first overall, we are not going to be having a first round bye again. We're going to be having a home game. Can almost guarantee you we're having a home game. And then we're going to be going from there. Depends on who we're going to play. The playoff picture right now, I believe, would suggest we are playing the 49ers. If it were to end today or to end right now. We're currently sitting in 3rd. And I want first. Personally, I'd like to get the first round bye, but it's not anything too crazy here. Also, to get into the game as well, it was like, what the heck is that? Sorry about that. The special teams got involved with Ryan Suckup hit a couple of field goals. It's just starting to finally mesh together. This Tampa Bay Buccaneers team is finally coming around to do exactly what it's supposed to, win games. And there's a lot of talk. I've brought this up on the show a couple of times. I'm going to bring this up one more time. Hopefully the NFL and our fan base will actually start listening a little bit more. I keep hearing this narrative of we don't have a dominant team in the NFL. We don't have a number 1 team in the NFL. Do you not watch Tampa Bay Buccaneers play? Do we not see exactly what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are doing? We're 11-4. Oh, you lost 9-0 to the New Orleans Saints. Didn't Jacksonville lose 9-3 didn't Buffalo lose to Jacksonville like 9-3? Everybody's got their off games. Sometimes the worst teams can plan for the best teams and you get results that you never would have assumed. It happens. But when the Buccaneers are supposed to actually dominate a team and it all goes well and the plan works, it works. We were going up against, despite what the record says, the number 2 overall defense in the league. Can you believe that? The Carolina effing Panthers right now are the 2nd best defense in the NFL. There's a reason for it. They drafted all defense 2 seasons ago. They've addressed certain needs at certain positions. And now, they got some injuries, but they traded for some players, aka corners, that they know are eventually going to develop into one hell of a backcourt. This is not a dumb team. This is not a bad team. This is a team that we had to come off and beat right away. Problem is they got situations and problems with their own quarterbacks and this, that, and everything else. Cam Newton had his last home game more than likely ruined for him by our defense because he thought for some odd reason he could actually hold the reins to an NFL offense against one of the best, if not the greatest defense we have ever seen in like the last 15 years. This is what we have. We have this. This is awesome. Like I said with the whole Darlington comment, it's like watching NASCAR. You can fall asleep and wake up and it's the same result. Guess what? That's what happens when we win. That's what happens when we are supposed to do what we're supposed to do. It doesn't happen every weekend. It doesn't have to happen every weekend, but it is nice when it does happen. Next up, we got the New York Jets. It might be a little closer because we don't know what Bob Saleh, Zach Wilson and company, they got a couple of targets. They got a pretty damn decent, good old offensive line. Jacob Charnell will be the first person to tell you all about that team. They might actually do something. Are they to be feared? No. You know what? The one thing that's going to make me fear them is if they actually beat us or they get close. I don't want to lose to the Jets. Do you want to lose to the Jets? Nobody wants to lose to the Jets. I don't want to lose to the Jets. Nobody wants to lose to the Jets. So we can put this behind us. This is one of those things where, again, you get into this weekend, it's been the holidays. Whether you're a diehard fan or not, everybody's been kind of away from the TV, respectively. Had the Buccaneers been on TV for Christmas, I would have definitely put it on and just sat right there and watched every single minute in front with the family. Instead, we got the Green Bay Packers and the Cleveland Browns. Yeah, not a bad game. Not my first choice, but okay. Today was a game where we knew what we were supposed to do, but we had some worries. Chris Godwin is out. And it's created a uproar on Twitter with some people saying, oh, is he going to be gone forever? Doesn't that mean we got him cheaper now? Really? If that's the kind of thought process that you start going to, you're never going to be a proper GM. Because know this right now, anything that you're thinking that would make you think that you're a good GM that you've posted on Twitter is not what a good GM is talking about. And no offense, if you've seen what GMs actually talk about or hear what GMs actually talk about, it's a little bit more savage than you think because they have to do that. Go listen to the Pat McAfee show, and they got a GM that pops on there all the time. And he used to be of the Seattle Mariners. If you want to get a little input and a little sneak peek of what the life is of GMs and what they talk about and all that kind of stuff, yeah. But we're never going to know what the actual contract is of Chris Godwin. This injury isn't going to necessarily affect his price range. It's just going to affect the term of it. It means if he cannot put out to a certain degree, that means the team can get money back. It's just the way it happens. But that's going to be put inside of the contract. So when you see him get his big contract and everybody's all happy, just remember that there's clauses. Every team has it, especially for injuries. Minnesota Vikings had it for Adrian Peterson. But that's not what we want to talk about. Right now we are winning. And Tom Brady has lost Godwin and Evans. Edwin should get possibly back. But he got Antonio Brown, a player that we have said on this platform before, and we state again and again when we were wrong. I said Antonio Brown, we probably didn't need him. It's a good damn thing we got him now, don't we? Tyler Johnson, hey, man, he's going to get there. Jalen Darden, hey, man, he's going to get there. But we just don't know when. And as you can see from one of the titles that I put onto the show today, why not Trask? A breakdown of our rookies. We're going to get to that in a little bit. Talk about Jalen Darden and Tyler Johnson, Joe Tryon, and some of the other young guys that we have drafted in the last couple of years and what they really mean to this team going forward. But going forward, this is what we have. We were depleted the two wide receivers that inevitably developed Jameis Winston into the quarterback that he is, led Tom Brady to the situation that he's currently in, and one of the reasons why Kyle Trask is probably sitting on a bench, and any other quarterback who is looking at this position, Blaine Gabbert, Ryan Griffin, when he was here, Reed Sinnett, any of these quarterbacks who have ever even had a sneak peek of this wide receiver core, knows how good they are. It's not just going to leave, but it is gone right now. And Tom Brady still has Antonio Brown. But that's really it. Besides the tight ends, Rob Gronkowski, Cam Brate, OJ Howard looked pretty damn good. I'll give him that. But what about Rojo? And I didn't really want to bring this up, but I have to. It's my job. Rojo was put in a situation where he had to actually be the Leonard Fournette this year. And we had this talk week 3, 4, 5, around that mark, where I said there's two ways about this. You're either just going to let it happen where they're splitting the carries this year, 50-50, and you're just going to draft a rookie running back in the offseason, or you're going to let Lenny eat and see what you actually got. And they chose the latter, and it worked. And the first game where they actually gave it to him, he ran for 20 rushes, 65 yards. Problem is, people are going to use that and say, Andrew, it's the same thing that, Rojo had today. Yeah, but what Lenny did this offseason or even this preseason or during the season is learn how to catch the ball and his timing from Tom Brady, the guy who's earning him his cash and the ring on his finger. Rojo has done a respectable job learning how to run the ball and run the routes. He does a great job when he bounces to the outside and he has room. So does a lot of other running backs. I have always said I love every single player that puts on the Buccaneers uniform. Rojo is not going to be the running back of our future. This is the same similar situation that happened before with Doug Martin. People said the same thing. And then he got a bit of a contract. And then he was cut. And he went to Oakland. And we just really never heard from him again. Rojo is a good running back. This is just not the system for him. If you were to properly let him be a first and second down back, then yes, he could probably be a good first and second down running back. But that's not what we need. We need a great one. And right now, Lenny has found it. And you can see a little bit of frustration on Tom Brady when he doesn't have all the pieces that he needs to get successful. I mean, isn't that the reason he came here? Isn't that the reason he left New England? They didn't necessarily just put all the best situations in Brady's lap. No, they never did that. They always tried. But in Tampa, when he came here, and even before they came here, he knew what was here. He knew what the ownership and the coaching staff and the GMs were willing to do to make the situation comfortable for him. And he succeeded with it to the point of championships. So one thing that we keep also forgetting here is fans. Maybe it's the still shell shock, the wow factor of 1 year, one championship. People have gone to franchises and couldn't get over the hump until they were about to retire. We've seen that. Brady came here and won it in 1 year. Do you understand now why losing Lenny, Chris Godwin, and Evans just makes Tom Brady's situation a little bit more unbearable for him? He's not there to develop the rookies, respectively. And I'll get to that here in a second. He's there to win the championships while he's still got the youth, or at least he's still got the arm to him. Tom Brady has even stated the more he gets interviewed, it seems like the time keeps getting lower and lower. He went from 50, now it's like 49, 48, 47, 46. Is that when he's going to retire? I have stated from day one, I think it's a 3-year thing. And I even said from the first year, going back to the Faubert plan when Tom Brady gets here, Tom Brady was probably going to get to the conference championship or the Super Bowl and lose in his first year here. Take this year as we ain't fucking losing no more. Take that and possibly go unbeaten and win the Super Bowl this year, and then we're going to go for 2 next year. That's what I said was going to happen. Now, I think that the same thing is possibly going to happen where we're going for 2, but even if we win it or not this year, he's probably coming back next year. And that's why a lot of these contracts that we see here on our team are 1-year contracts. They're one and dones. So when the season is done and you assess and you find out exactly what you have, there we go. You can see exactly how much money to spend. And a lot of these guys are coming to the tail end of their careers, respectively. Or at least coming to the tail ends of their contracts that a team like the Buccaneers would want to re-sign, respectively. So let's go into the thing that I brought up here in the title. Why not Trask? A breakdown in the use of the rookies. Why would I even bring up Kyle Trask at a time like this? You saying, Mr. Faubert, that we need to put in Kyle Trask right now while we're winning championships, while we're doing this good? Absolutely not. I'm following a narrative here. There's people out there who have asked that. Well, why don't we see Kyle Trask? Didn't we draft a quarterback 2nd round? Shouldn't we use the son of a gun if we spent such a high pick? I agree. Can agree with that. Well, what about Jalen Darden? The guy we traded up for. What about Tyler Johnson? Hey, he fell in our lap. It's such a talented player. Why don't we use him? What about Joe Tryon? Why don't we use these rookies more? There's a couple reasons to it. One is we already have a great effing team, and this team is ready to win now. It's always going to be ready to win now with this current roster that it's got. The rookies that we currently are stacking is for, and this is my opinion, after the 3-year stunt with Tom Brady is done. How long did Aaron Rodgers sit for? How long did Steve Young, sit for? How long did some of these quarterbacks that we have talked about in the future sit for? Am I saying Kyle Trask is going to be like any of these quarterbacks? Absolutely not. But what I'm saying is letting somebody sit and develop may not actually be the worst thing ever, especially at quarterback position. The other positions I've talked about, the wide receivers, the edge rusher here, even the running back, Keyshawn Vaughn, some of these positions are developmental. Let's say we lose some point in the playoffs. Don't want to be the, bring it down here for a second, but let's just say we can't go for 2. But we rally up and everybody's ready next year. Come next year, it's the last 7 or 18 game or 18-week season. And then they say we're going to do a 20-week season with 2 bye weeks, no bye weeks after the week 15 or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So they get one more season, 17 games. The Buccaneers go 15-2, and they go all the way to the Super Bowl and we win it. And Tom Brady's sitting there with his Lombardi and he pulls one of the greatest, say, quotes of all time. I got every damn finger and thumb on my finger or on my hands now covered in rings. I retire. And he hands that Lombardi off to the team and he celebrates and everybody knows what it is. It's now the Tampa Bay Buccaneers major celebration where they've won 2 in the 3 years that Tom Brady was here. And then Rick Hughes with what he said before it comes true. And no one gives a damn about the Patriots anymore. It's all Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now what? Oh, crap. Ndamukong Suh's now gone. Oh, crap. Levante David is now just all of a sudden decided to take his couple of rings and retire. Not due to health reasons, just early retirement. Why not? Oh, no. William Golston we can't resign. Oh, no. Some of these other guys, they gotta go. It'd be really, God, it'd be really bad if all of a sudden we had no replacements for these guys. All of a sudden it would be really crappy if we had no development happening in our system while we were going for a championship. Oh no, our quarterback who's been sitting on the bench this whole time, who knows the system to a T, is now all of a sudden got no wide receiver. We don't have that situation. We drafted Joe Tryon at pick number 32, and a lot of people said, what in the fuck are we doing? I even said, well, maybe we could have gotten him in the second round, but I see the plan. Joe Tryon is developing into one hell of a good Shaq Barrett. Devin White's going to get his money. He's going to lead that defense. Vita Vea is going to be right down the middle. We got the 3-headed monster, Winfield and Whitehead. All you got to do is put pieces around that. That sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Now let's look at the offense here for a second. Kyle Trask runs things for a little bit. Whether we keep Evans or Godwin or not. But in this situation, we're going to say we keep Evans and Godwin. Evans is staying here. Godwin's is staying here. Jalen Darden in the slot and Tyler Johnson in the slot. Scotty Miller's still here for some odd reason. OJ Howard. At least he's still here on a small deal. We've drafted probably a running back because more than likely Lenny's gotten and paid very handsomely. Rojo's went to a new team for a new opportunity. Keyshawn Vaughn is our number 1, but with another new running back in there. Marpet's paid. Kappa's paid. Jensen is gone. But we've drafted a new center probably in this upcoming draft. The tackle is still there, with Wirf's probably moving to left tackle, and we've drafted another right tackle or whatever. But even if we don't draft them, guess what? All those other holes that I'm talking about, you fill them in the draft. We used to talk about, you cannot just think that we can replace players that we lose in free agency as Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the draft. And that should actually go with any team. But we've actually shown in the last little bit that we're probably one of the best drafting effing teams out there. So we've done two things. We've won a championship in our window of opportunity, which teams, whenever they've had this, have never even gotten close to doing. Talk to Minnesota Viking fans, no offense. Weren't the Buffalo Bills there for 4 straight years? Aren't the Arizona Cardinals, no offense to my buddy, still waiting for their championship? Teams do this all the time, and sometimes it never works. What we've done is we've put together a championship quality team that has won and been competitive and has really went around and changed the entirety of the culture of the Bucks logo, of the hashtag Go Bucks. All of a sudden, hashtag It's a Bucks Life doesn't mean bad crap anymore. Hashtag It's a Bucks Life is actually showing people living the Bucks life. This is different. We have a team ready for when Brady is gone. So why are we nitpicking? Why do we sit here and decide to nitpick at what we already know is what the future is? Oh, we're going to lose Todd Bowles to the Jacksonville Jaguars. That sounds pretty interesting, but it's probably not going to happen. This situation that we're in right now is win mode now. But we also have the developmental side. So why aren't we seeing Kyle Trask? Why are we seeing Blaine Gabbert? And people saying, why are we going to throw millions of dollars to Blaine Gabbert? Why are we throwing millions of dollars to Richard Sherman and Le'Veon Bell? Why did we even sign Le'Veon Bell? We have to. Brady is not here to develop the rookies. Brady is here to win championships. These rookies may already be developed, and they may already be good. Tyler Johnson's already proven that. Jalen Darden has shown that he can literally lean on the field and run at the same time on a dime. Keyshawn Vaughn just showed today that he can break off for a run. We have the rookies. We got rookies. We got youth. We got developmental players. That's what we have. But we also have the championship quality team that you currently call your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 11-4. 11-4. With both parts of the spectrum that you need to be a quality team. How awesome is that? Can you tell me any other teams out there that are doing that? That are leading in the department of developing youth and also going for a championship? The Chiefs are pretty good. Let's give all the credit. Not with the amount. Your Tampa Bay Buccaneers are one of the best teams out there in the NFL. And it's about time that these commentators and whatever else you want to call these gals and guys, they better start showing the respect. Because like I even said when it came to the Pro Bowl on Alex and Johnny's show, and I'm not going to do the full rant, but there is absolutely no reason why we at 11-4, 10-4 last week, shouldn't have every single one of our players essentially in the Pro Bowl. Every single effing one of them. There is absolutely no reason for Devin White not to be in the Pro Bowl. None. Tristan Wirfs. There's absolutely no reason. Lenny? Winfield? Whitehead? Oh, but these other guys doesn't. No. And I'm not blaming no fan base because people are going to say, Andrew, it's kind of on the fans to vote. And I get that. And I didn't do my part on Twitter. I totally understand that. Guess what? I live in Canada. It's a little harder for me to vote on your American sites. It's just the way it is. But there is a way that we can be better about this. And it's the NFL advertising maybe some good players that are on good teams, or AKA the best team in the NFL, your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's a little disrespectful when we have, 5? Was that even the amount that we had? It was 5 flipping players? That's nothing. That's that's pitiful. That's absolutely disrespectful. Hit that like button, heart it, whatever you want to do if you agree with me on that right now. Share this to your friends as well. Get the word out. Let's get some people out there really starting to get the Pro Bowl madness and literal madness out there. This is bull. We should have way more people into the Pro Bowl. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is the second half of the show. I'm going to check out the comments section. It's been banging tonight. I haven't actually talked to anybody. I apologize. Alex Schomburg, thank you for tuning in. Says, Andrew, what's up? I'm back. Like I said, a couple weeks off. Let everybody do their spots. And the games were a little bit late. So I only got limited time, between being here and being up there with the growing family. Not saying growing, I ain't having another kid, okay? Not happening. But I try to be on as many shows as I possibly can. And anytime I get some free time, you guys know that I'll try to be live and entertain you all as best as I can. Because look at this. Me and Alex got some off-season content coming. And we kind of came up with a fun one already that we're going to do in the off-season here and start doing is we're going to do drafting the greatest NFL basically team of all time. And it's, you can draft any player. If you can draft any player first overall ever of all time, like who would it be? And then all of a sudden, if you had the pick at say 14, like a normal NFL fantasy draft, but it's literally the players of all time. It's not just offense. It's offense and defense. And you get to build it. It's all fantasy. So we're going to make it cool and fun, but thank you for tuning in, buddy. NFC champs. NFC South Division champs, Christopher O'Reilly. That's right. Thank you for tuning in. Rita Flanders. Yes, great game. Thank you for tuning in as well. Not be a Debbie Downer, but have you seen our schedule season talk about? I know I don't want to play the Jets. I don't want to play the Jets. Next season is going to be a true test. There you go. That's true. Next season is going to be the true test. Whether we do good this season, or whether we go far in the playoffs or not, next season is going to be a true test. So that's a very, very good point. Because what is going to happen if we win twice? Is everybody going to buy in and say, let's go for 3 in a row? That's hard. That's hard in any sport, whether it's baseball, hockey, basketball, unless you have the great. And I mean, don't get me wrong, we do have the great one. But would the great one have enough to go for a three-peat as well? That would be the question. But forget that. I'm enjoying the season. Hells yeah, buddy. And without a bunch of our weapons, with damn rights, without a bunch of our weapons, I was really surprised. I kind of anticipated him to just pass it to Antonio Brown the whole time. To be honest, I thought Antonio Brown could have came out of there with 21 receptions if he had it this way. Sacks up the what? Hey, remember Buccaneer fans when I actually first started here at Bucks Report? We were literally talking about, me and one of the old co-hosts here, we're actually talking about no sacks and who was going to get the first sack of the season. You remember that? Right before Shaq Barrett came here and went all over Warren Sapp's record. Not all over it, but, made it very close. Ben Cornett tuned it in. We were on the same show together. I was so blessed to be on the same show with Ben Cornett. Oh my God. Ben Cornett, I expected Rojo to have a better game than he did today. Vaughn had more yards on less carries than Jones did with more carries. And it's really just based off of that breakout run that he had there. That one breakout run made it's going to make the stat board for Keyshawn Vaughn look even better than it should. In fantasy, people are going to pick him up like crazy if you're in Dynasty, being like, oh, that's the Buccaneers' future running back right there for next year. And you're all giving me 2 first-rounders for him. I don't even care. I would hold the hell up on that. Ronald Jones, a solid RB with sprinkles of great runs. He's a better version of Peyton Barber. You're damn right. Damn right, man, Cornette. I like Peyton Barber, but Peyton Barber was like, it was so hard for him to burst out and have like big runs, especially on the outside. He was a middle, like down the middle guy. I've said this before too, one running back, and a lot of people are going to be like, who the fuck are you talking about, Mr. Andrew Faubert? Is a running back that we had a few years ago that I actually miss. I'm not going to lie. I miss having him around, is Charles Sims. If he was our receiving back and he was like a healthy receiving back, listen, I think he would have done fantastic. He's been hit a lot this year. It takes a toll. I do agree. I'll give you that. If Brady wins MVP and we win it all, he'll walk away. Ooh, that's a good, But then man, how many MVPs would that be for him technically then? Wouldn't that be like 4 or 5? To be honest with you, the one thing that I've been looking at, because we only got the 2 games left, he's going to get his 5,000 yard season. I can almost guarantee that he needs 420 yards. He needs 420 yards to get 5,000 yards. He should be able to do that with the Jets, I think, by far. I think he should. He could probably do that against the Jets himself. If he wants the record, oh wait, you can't do the record. No, there's no way he's going to be able to do a record unless he's throwing like 500-yard games the next 2 games. He's not getting the record for the most, but he can get a 5,000-yard season. A lot of people have said him for MVP. As much as I love what Tom Brady has done this season, I'm voting Jonathan Taylor, man, or Cooper Kupp. I might be the only person on this, and it might just be me because I'm Canadian, and I apologize if that be the case. But can we stop giving the MVP to the quarterbacks? Unless they actually Derrick Henry should have won MVP. What was that? Last year? Adrian Peterson won a few years ago. But I mean, unless a quarterback throws and leads his team to like complete dominance that year, which he has, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that he hasn't done complete dominance this year. I mean, we're 11-4, 37 touchdowns and 11 picks is a pretty damn good stat line already. He's going to get 40 touchdowns. Can almost guarantee that. But can we stop giving it to quarterback? Like, how many people have done that? Breeze did that a couple of years ago. Stafford did that a couple of years ago. I mean, Lamar Jackson, even though he won MVP. Like, Justin Herbert's probably going to do it. Can we just... I would rather it go to Jonathan Taylor or Cooper Kupp, personally. And people may argue, well, Stafford throws it to Cooper Kupp. Okay, well, then give it to Jonathan Taylor. Well, Carson Wentz has to hand it off. There's a difference between handing it off to somebody and passing it to somebody. But Jonathan Taylor should really get the MVP this year. And maybe it's a generational thing. You know, if Derrick Henry does this last year and then Jonathan Taylor did it this year and then somebody goes and does it next year and this is a running back thing, then maybe it should start going to other things. Yeah, but we should start looking a different way. I think we should start looking a different way. It should not go to quarterbacks every single time. I really do not think that at all. I think it should go to better players. I understand they have offensive player and defensive player of the year. I know, but MVP just means you're the most valuable player. Like Luke Kuechly should have won more, and Ed Reed should have won it. Ray Lewis should have won it more. Those kind of players should have won MVP a little bit more. We throw hockey into it for a second. Goalies should win MVP a little bit more than they do. Like Dominic Hasek won it once. And he's not even technically in the top 13 for wins of all time. Don't even think he's in the top 20 of wins of all time, if I'm not correct. If I am correct. So, just saying. Christopher O'Reilly says, do we rest Brady or not? That's the question. No. And the only reason I say that is this, is last year, the same question was asked right after the bye. When we came out of the bye and we beat the Falcons, everyone said, oh, okay, well, we should get the next one and then rest Brady for the last 2 games then so that he's good because he's old. And I know that's not what you're saying. I'm not saying that. But that is an argument people would use. Like, well, Brady's age, we should give him rest. Well, no, repetition and it is the best medicine. That's just it. So I know some people will say, well, let Blaine Gabbert have week 18. I don't think he would. I think he might play half of the game and then be out. Might even play the full game. But Bruce Arians and Tom Brady are just completely different animals when it comes to that kind of stuff. And I don't see that coming down the pipe there. So Christopher Cole, thank you for tuning in. Says, hey, everybody. And Eric Hartnett says, NFC South Champs, let's go. You are damn right. Those effing ain't putting up their regular season banners this year. Unless they make the playoffs, they'll be like, oh, we made the playoff banner. This is for our Buccaneer fans. Like, oh, shut up. Sorry about that. Anyways. Do you think the Bucs rest some play? Now, that, on the other hand, I do think the Buccaneers would rest some players on the other hand. There, some of those players on defense, like Sue, trying to think, JPP, maybe Vita Vea, Levante David. I don't want to say the older guys, but the vets, you know what I mean? Maybe give them a little bit more of the rest. Maybe on the offensive side, I'd let some of the offensive guys, some offensive linemen, maybe get a rest. But if the Buccaneers want to play for first, I'm also not opposed to having everybody start and try to play for first. There's a lot of things that the Buccaneers have never had. You know what I mean? Like we've never really been number 1 in our whole conference. We would kind of like to have that. We'd like to have the first round bye. I'm totally on board with that. I really am. It's just, if you're asking me, I think some will get pulled like week 18. If we're doing the same thing that we're doing to the Panthers, I wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing players get pulled a lot sooner. But again, who knows, right? Some information might come down to Brady, and he might be, 57 yards away from a certain touchdown or a certain record that'll never ever be broken. And he'd be like, "Oh, I'm gonna stay in the game." Arians be like, "Oh, fuck it. I guess you're gonna stay in the game. So here we go." Who knows, right? Personally, I want to see Letty get back, and I want to see him get over 1,000 yards rushing. I would like to see Evans get in, and like to see him get over 1,000 yards receiving. This is going to sound maybe bad, but it's because of the Saints fans and a couple of those fans on the internet. He'd be like, "Oh, Evans doesn't have his 1,000-yard receiving season. And look at the streak. He's a shitty receiver. He's worse than Mike Thomas. He's worse than Julio Jones. He's worse than DJ Moore. He's worse than all these guys." I'd at that point, I'd be like, listen, I'm going to have to delete my social media here. So Christopher Gould says, knowing the NFL, Rodgers will win the MVP. Knowing the NFL, I think they would probably actually give it to Brady of all quarterbacks to be 100%. Whoa, my microphone thing came out. That's not good. Get back in there. Get back in there. There we go. I got to tighten that up real quick. There we go. I actually think, I think if any quarterback's going to win it, they would probably give it to Brady. And I'm not being a homer here. I just think that if there's any quarterback that would make sense, if the Buccaneers win the next 2 and they kind of show everybody that they're the number one team. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of the way that they would go. So Eric Hartnett says facts. Yeah, I agree. Packers got easy games this week. I mean, so do we. You know, we got the Jets and we got the Panthers. So my predictions at the beginning of the year, and this, I'm only saying this is because, you know, someone's going to be like, you said it. Blah, blah, blah. Well, I always hold true to what I say. I still think that if we have to play the Packers this year in the playoffs, we're probably going to play them in the conference championship. And I want us to win, obviously, but I wouldn't be surprised if we actually were to lose to the Packers. Packers are a really good, solid round team, and a lot of their injured players are starting to come back too. So, but man, if there's one team I don't want to play in the playoffs, there's two teams. I don't want to play the Rams, and I don't want to play the Packers, and of course, I don't want to play the Saints. Just like fuck that. I don't want to play the Saints in any shape or form. That's going to give me a heart attack. I think Evans will be back, Eric. I do. I just don't know if because I see David Turnier says Evans needs to sit until he's fully healthy. Screw the 1,000-yard season. Now, man, I'm with you on that. I agree. Now, this sucks because it's hard to say that because we're not saying that we don't want him to have that chance. Obviously, I'm not saying I don't want, I'm not even saying I don't want him to have that. I'm saying that we've seen Evans be healthy, and when he's healthy, he's dominant. But we've also seen what happens when you put in a hamstringed, injured Evans in any situation and get one catch for 13 yards on 4 targets. I think it was that one game. So I agree. I would more be in the boat, like, just let him. And I don't give a fuck what the record is. I don't give a what the fan base says, any fan base says. Ours being different. I mean, you know, the rest of the fans out there. But yeah, that's a hard one. It's not, again, not saying I don't want him to have it. It's just I'd rather him sit and be healthy and win a championship. Championship speaks better than regular season accolades anyway. I don't have the latest on Shaq Barrett. I actually just tried to type it in. My computer's being doing some weird crap right now. So I will have to, if someone's got the latest on Shaq Barrett, please just drop it into the comment section right now. Please. Thank you. Also says facts again, right? I think Godwin in general would come back like to the Buccaneers just in general, because I don't think he's not coming back this year. I don't want him to come back this year. One catch and, like, you know, he's out of the game completely and then out for another season. Nope, not in the Super Bowl. Nope. He's gotten here this far, and I'm not gonna lie, I think the Buccaneers could do a lot of damage in the playoffs with a healthy Evans and a healthy Antonio Brown. I do think that. Fabian Espinoza says, good team win today, fam. You damn right. Like, it was a good win. Like I said at the beginning of the show, it's like a Darlington NASCAR race, or anybody who's ever watched a NASCAR race. Just a good natural race where you can take a nap in the middle and wake up. It's the same damn thing happening at the end. It's just a good damn race. Remember to like and share this show. Tell all your friends about this show, Live from the Cheap Seats with Andrew Faubert, live on Bucs Report every Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time. That's where I am here in Canada. I got my little salad and raw, I guess you could say. It is currently, you guys are not going to believe this, it is currently minus 46 outside of my house right now. Yeah, minus 46. Letting my dogs out right now to go pee feels really bad. Like, I actually feel bad. I'm going to just do it on the carpet at this point, man. Just go find a corner and just go. Just go. Please. I feel so bad. But yeah, minus 46 here in Canada. Godwin is back next season. David Turnier says, I do think so too. A lot of these people on the internet, like I said at the beginning of the show as well, are saying Godwin, oh, we get a special discount because he's injured, right? Fuck that. If anything, toss him more money. But like we all know, there's just going to be a clause in the contract. and it's just going to be written in words that we're never going to understand. That's just the way it is. Thought he could come for play. Nah. He just maybe at the beginning of spring training, I think I saw. I'd have to read into it a little bit more. So, but I'll get back to you. Follow me on Twitter at Andrew_Faubert, and I will get you information about that if you need to. And Bucks Report has a bunch of articles on that for you as well. Packers are playoff chokers. I'll buy them when they show they can win big games. Not wrong, David. You are definitely not wrong. And you know what? The only money I have on any teams to win the Super Bowl this year is the Buccaneers, obviously. And I sprinkled $5 on the Broncos when I heard in the offseason that there was a slight chance that Aaron Rodgers was going to go there. So I said, you know what? Screw it. The odds are, I think my $5 would have paid me out like $500 had they had done it. So it's worth it. I'll take the $5 and try it. Eric says, you're right about that. Damn right. David Turner, yes, I want him to get it, LOL, but this close to the playoffs, he's got to be right, especially with Godwin. Exactly. I'm saying the same thing, too. I ain't saying, no, screw that. You sit out and blah, blah, blah. No, it's like, I want you to get it, but I want you to have 2 rings. I want you to have proper contribution to the team in the playoffs. I don't want him out. I don't want him out. Is there a chance Godwin come back like to the Buccaneers? Yeah, I don't see there being too much of he's gonna cost money. And people eventually in like 2 or 3 years, the big news media thing that's gonna happen to the Buccaneers is they'll have like a 5-game trend where they were like 1-4 or stuff like that. They'll be like, is the reason for the Buccaneers decline is because we have no cap room due to our $37 million in the wide receiver room. Nope. Worth every penny. The development of any quarterback, the success of any veteran quarterback coming into our system would speak otherwise. I'll give them $47 million. I don't give a damn. Just joining the show, stating obvious, AB was the star. Jim Melvin, thank you for tuning in, buddy. Like I said, I could have seen Antonio Brown getting out of there with like 21 catches, to be completely honest. If he just wanted to target him all day, he probably could have. Now, that being said, Carolina's secondary, when they develop into the secondary on paper that they can be, when that other guy gets back from injury, when CJ Henderson inevitably can actually be a shutdown Florida Gator, and don't you anybody start talking about my Gators in the comment section. I don't hear it. But with him and Stephon Gilmore and the other guy, like Stephon Gilmore is going to help them develop. So it's a secondary I'm not going to want to play eventually. I want to keep Evans and Godwin so that we can beat that type of secondary going eventually. So Christopher Cole says sprained MCL as of right now. Thank you very much. Ben Cornett, they have NASCAR in Canada. We have this thing called the Pinty series, some sort of chicken wing sponsored crap. We have it on TV, but no, if we had a track, I think the only tracks we've had are, is that a hair I see floating? Yeah, it was. That's funny. We have a Grand Prix. Was that Formula One? There we go. We have Formula One tracks. That's what we have. Actually, where I live, half an hour away, they actually used to close down one of the airports in the middle of the city to allow that Grand Prix. I think it closed down that whole airport, and they don't have it anymore. Right when I started getting money and I got out here, and I'm like, what the hell? It's rude. Eric Arnett, Jordan Whitehead, MVP of secondary. Damn right. And a lot of people said in the offseason, oh, cut him. Listen, I've said some dumb stuff too, but Whitehead ain't going nowhere. And they're like, oh, but Mike Edwards. Yeah, Mike Edwards is good when he's playing secondary as like the second option. He can come in there and be a star guy when everybody else needs a break. So other wide receiver played great today as well. I agree. MVPs today for the Bucks: AB, Whitehead, Vaughn, Grayson, and Jenna Lane. Jenna Lane, I'm not sure why. I'd have to pop up and see Jenna Lane. On Twitter, I'm assuming. So I'll have to check that. How become Bucks fan in Canada? Actually, And so I grew up in Ontario, so it's just near Toronto, we'll say. For any of my American friends who were like, I no offense, Andrew, I ain't gonna try and find out where you live. I'm on top of Lake Superior, is where my hometown essentially was, kind of near Toronto-ish, just like on the other side. Long story short, I turned on the TV one time. I think it was in grade 4 or 5. Saw a football game on, which was the CFL, liked it, and then all of a sudden an NFL came on a couple of weeks after that, and I thought it was the CFL. Parents told me no, and it was the Buccaneers and I think the Eagles playing. And I was like, oh, this is really cool. And for some odd reason, every game that I saw, which I had found out later on, must have been every like 5 weeks, because the Buccaneers weren't necessarily shown all the time. But when they started winning in the late 90s, that's when they finally started getting shown on TV. That's when I got an opportunity to see them. And I loved their colors. Like, you know, I loved the pewter. I loved that orange. I loved it all. And I tried to fit in with some friends, I guess, or some classmates. One of them you'll see on the comments thread sometimes, Robert Ewing. He was in the same class as me, and he is a Broncos fan. And there's a bunch of people who are just NFL fans in general. I wanted to be part of their group, so I took on the Buccaneers. Everybody laughed at me, said, oh, who the hell? They're never going to be anything. I said, sure, I'm still going to stick with them. They won the Super Bowl in 2002. I was in grade 5. So I was just kind of like, woo. And everybody's like, you don't know anything about football. So I took that as inspiration and became more than just a Buccaneer fan. I became just a sports fan in general. And it was the only thing that really helped me with math. Sports is what helped me with math. I used to see the ticker at the bottom of every single game, and I used to just sit there going, like, that's all I ever did. So, yeah, that's basically in Canada how I became that. It's the same thing with being a Red Wings fan. Everybody tried to influence me to be the Maple Leafs fan, and I was like, nope, I'm going to go cheer for a real team in America. So, is there something weird going on with Gronk? Harden said Gronk hurt as well. Again, just popping on. Let me see what we got here. I'm going to Buccaneers injuries. Dun, 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 dun. No, don't see anything just yet. Sorry for the silence there. I'd have to do a little bit more digging when I don't have the computer basically going. But yeah, they are a little banged up still. And, you know, as long as we can start keeping the main players in it, I think we're going to be fine, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah. Red Wings, I believe, are a Russian team playing in Detroit. They were at one point. Now they're more of a Swedish team playing in America. There it is, Fred. Thank you very much. 17-4, baby. Keep it up every time. You're literally, I think only one show you did it, and then you went back and did it. So keep it up every single show, man. I love it. Don't really got too much else for you. I only had a couple of things for you. Just wanted to know, since we're getting down to the end of the year, I'm not going to be available, obviously, for a New Year's show. I will be way too drunk and way too inappropriate to be going live that night. So I decided just to ask a couple of questions for the last bit of the show, just to get kind of a little, you know, end of the year, say, debriefing with all my fans of Live from the Cheap Seats, which I want to thank all of you guys again. Like, honestly, this show, when it was bestowed upon me from Rick Hughes' cat, has been a lot of fun. I enjoy doing this every Sunday that I possibly can. I actually do get a little depressed whenever I'm not able to, whether it be from my own or just, you know, if it's a late game and I can't pop in. It does suck when I can't. So I do love you guys a lot. I love the fans. You guys have been absolutely amazing. So Merry Christmas, Happy Boxing Day, Happy New Year, all that kind of fun stuff. You guys make the show happen. I'll be bringing more content for North Sports Dynasty in the new year with Alex. We got a lot of crazy stuff coming in. We got a brand new dynasty actually kicking in. We got a new league coming in. So if you fantasy people actually are looking to get into a dynasty league with some people who will be talking live on shows, message us. We got you. So a couple of things for you. Let's go with this one first. Your favorite Buccaneers player of all time. Now, I know there's a lot of players and a lot of good teams that we've had. The 79 squad was really dope. The 90 or the 89 squad was okay. You know, our 98 through 2002 squad, this current squad that we got, there's a lot of great players that have played for that team or for this team. And if I could only pick one player, man, as much as I would want to say Mike Allstott, I think I'm a Mike Evans guy. I think Mike Evans is probably just, when he got drafted, I was hoping for Johnny Manziel, and it'll be the one apology that I will always throw towards him. Derek Brooks is very, very close second. Warren Sapp was my favorite until a previous host on this show basically told me what kind of a person he is behind the scenes. And you can be really, really good in the sport that I like. Is if you're a dick or an a-hole behind the scenes, I can't give you the same respect. No, I'm sorry, but he's still one hell of a guy, and I'll give Warren Sapp third. But if I had to pick one, I'm going with Evans, and Derek Brooks is right behind him. So let's get some, let's go. Bullshit, we need an inappropriate Andrew on New Year's. Ben, if someone's doing a show on New Year's, I'll pop on and be inappropriate. You ask the boss first, though. Make sure it's okay with the boss that I'm inappropriate. Only one. Yeah, only one, buddy. Only one. Derek Brooks, Brady a close second. Yeah, see that 55 right there, ladies and gentlemen? I want a signed NHL jersey, and the guy messaged me, said, what do you want? And I was like, I'll take that Rondé Barber signed mini helmet that you got, and I'll take that Derek Brooks signed Hall of Fame jersey that you got. And he's like, you got her, buddy. One of the best steals I think I've ever gotten. I like the guy actually tunes into the show. So shout out Steve Quaish. Great guy. Derek Brooks, though. Yeah, it's Derek Brooks and Mike Evans. It's Mike Allstott. Listen, Mike Allstott was my first love. And Pittman, surprisingly, too. That's the reason why when someone was selling a jersey out here in Canada on Marketplace, and it was a Pittman for like $20, I'm like, I'm coming right now. Please hold it, and I'll give you an extra 10. Damn right. So, yeah, Mike Allstott, great player. Another vote for Brooks. Carl Hardy, thank you for tuning in. Thank you very much. Leroy Selman, number one. Leroy Selman, number one. Hells yeah. Oh, Simeon Rice on his best day was the best Buck of all time. I like that. And then Ben Cornett comes in. Fun fact, Warren Sapp is the only NFL player on record to have both a Super Bowl ring and a prostitute. Well played. Hold on. I gotta react to that one. That was good. What's the next one I had here? What was the next one I had here? Let me get Let me get that. Boom. Okay, so the next one I had, I'm still saying Mike Evans, but that's just me. But it's Derek Brooks. It's a close second. Your favorite Buccaneer memory of 2021? Obviously, the Super Bowl. Winning the Super Bowl is everyone's biggest memory. But what else? Joe Tryon drafting, the offseason, just not having to worry anymore. The surgence of Lenny being 11-4, beating the Saints in the playoffs. I think that was 2020. Whoops, my apologies. I just like bringing that up. What is your favorite memory? Because I know it's the number one answer, and I know I've spoken this a few times, but honestly, I tried very hard behind the scenes. To a lot of you fans out there, I tried so hard to get down to Tampa for the Super Bowl, to the point where I would have either been at a beach house that a friend of mine's parents owned, and I would have paid him a little bit of money, whether he liked it or not. Had that not been able to be rearranged, I would have slept on a beach. I don't care. Let a crocodile, alligator, whatever come sniff my butt, and I'll stab it and use it for meat and warmth and crocodile leather. I don't care. I would have done it. And 2 days before it was supposed to go down, my government said, fuck you. If you leave, I'll literally make you pay so much money to come back to this country that you'll go broke. So I couldn't. But not even 5 feet from where I am pointing. I sat right there and yes, I did, Katie Loves. And what I did is I watched that entire game with my hands like this, watching us play the Chiefs, and my fiance coming down at halftime to watch the halftime show and her being like, they're going to win. And I'm like, don't you speak that into, don't you do that. I'm like, you witnessed Brady when he was down 28-3 and what happened there. I'm like, yeah. And she goes, no, you're right. I'm going to stop. And she came down, I think one time around the third, fourth quarter, like end of the third, start of the fourth. And she just kind of looked at the screen, looked at me, smiled, went upstairs, didn't say anything else. And she came down with like, I think it was 49 seconds left in the game. And she was like, congratulations. And I'm like, no. She's like, you can celebrate. There's 49 seconds. If they literally come back with 49 seconds left in the game, it is the greatest team ever assembled. And you should be happy that you watched that game. You've won. And the second it went 0 for like 12 minutes straight, I just bawled in celebration and just in pure happiness that all of us could have actually gone live and just been celebrating. We could have popped bottles and it depends on where you were, smoked some stuff. You could have celebrated. Everybody could have celebrated together. It was a great time. So obviously I'm in that there. Let's see what a couple other people have said. Bucks played Cowboys. Okay, that's a good one. The boat parade was a good one. Yep, I agree. The Bucks played the NFC Packers championship game. That was a good one as well. Parabens OTTD was 2021. Yes, it was. That is right. Favorite memory, today's win to be replaced next week by that win and every win out of Fred. You are one of my favorite fans for the way that you speak about this team. I really do love that. My favorite Buccaneers 2021 memory was when BA and Light were shit-faced drunk at the Super Bowl party. And I'll bet you an Elp Light was a better decision maker with a few Bud Lights down to his gullet. By the way, Aaron's is even cooler drunk. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. You ain't fucking going anywhere. And you ain't fucking going anywhere either. It's one of my favorite memories of this team, for sure. Beating the Packers to get to the Super Bowl. All right, on Christopher. That was when we all kind of knew. We're like, oh crap, am we gonna wait 2 weeks for this? This is not fun. The beatdown we put on the Aints in the playoffs after losing twice to them in the regular season. Yeah, that was nice. Ben Cornett heard he was also excellent at Ring Around the Rosie as a child. Oh, Jesus. Anyone sniffing your butt, Andrew, is definitely asking for you. Damn right. Bucks report. John Gruden removed from the Ring of Honor. Oh, a sad day for some, but yes, it needed to be done. And the last question I got for you all, your Buccaneer plans for 2022. Are you going to any games? Are you hoping for a certain player? Are you hoping for, another ring? Obviously, what are your Buccaneer plans for 2022? I mean, like any year that I personally have, it's the same. To get down to Tampa and witness a game live in Raymond James Stadium with all the fans is still the big plan for 2022. But to be completely honest, like if we're just talking like the team, my Buccaneer plan that I want to see, I would like to see the team get a new running back. I would like to see Lenny just go to a team and get paid. I'm not necessarily us because he deserves a little bit more money than I think we should give him. And I think Rojo just deserves a second chance. The Buccaneer plan I would like to see is the Buccaneers go with a running back. But for me specifically, yeah, it's getting down there to Tampa with you, the fans, seeing again, because if you don't think that I would not be one of the rowdiest son of a bitches in that stadium if it was just me, if I was with my pretty lady who is currently just sitting there petting my wiener, we would probably have a nice time there in the stadium. It would be nice and relaxed, have a couple of drinks, meet some people, take some pictures, blah, blah. If it was just me, I would be decked out head to toe in Buccaneers gear and just stuff and just going nuts with all the fans. I'd be doing a show afterwards, probably beforehand too. Like I would be going hard in the paint. I would be doing as many shows as I possibly can from as many different locations. Like Ferg's would be one of the first places I would be going to and just enjoying it. Yes, that is the sound of my wiener when it is being pet and pleasured off screen. Is that, wow, okay, settle down there a little bit. So what are your Buccaneer plans for 2022? Looks like we got who would be a better drunk, Andrew or oh man. Listen, I'm gonna say Arians only because I would burn. I would burn in that sun way to the point where it would actually hurt. Like it would definitely hurt me if I was that drunk in Tampa Bay, not having somebody around me like Tom Brady did, just applying sunscreen. Like, Andrew, you've been out in the sun for 2 minutes. You're going to need a I'm fine. Give me more Bud Lights. Like, you need SPF Save a Ginger or you're going to die. But like, no, I can swim the Florida Channel and then apply the sunscreen. And then by the time I'd get across the channel, I would look like a roasted hog floating on a Florida river with bull sharks pulling at my damn rear end. And by the way, I have your name tattooed on my butt, so that'd be interesting to see inside of a bull shark. If some marine biologist pulled it, this piece of flesh has my name on it. You idiot! It just says the word your name. Huh? That's the joke, Sid. Ha ha! You silly marine biologist, you. Don't laugh at me on the side. I do the show for the silence, okay? Jesus, I want to go to the Super Bowl. I agree. I would love nothing more than to go to the Super Bowl. To celebrate the 20-0 season. Oh my God, Fred. Yeah, you were all about that. And then damn Matt Colson had to go and ruin it. No, I'm just kidding. Good old Matt Colson. I appreciate you. Super Bowl or bust, the famous word or the famous line, yes. Have seen the matchups between 22? I'm not exactly sure what you're saying there. Going to 2 boat parades. Yes, that would be absolutely epic. Another boat parade would be awesome. It'd be kind of cool if the Tampa Bay Lightning waited just to see if, or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers waited to see if the Lightning won, but I don't think that. It's a little bit of a distance, I guess. But yeah, that would be fun. Yeah, that, to be honest, that if I could go to that boat parade, if I could get down for that boat parade, I think that'd be one of the most entertaining things ever. Because yeah, I'd be one of those people that would want to hop in that water, but also would be very realistically knowing very quickly that, oh, there's sharks in here. So getting the fuck out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, speaking of getting the fuck out, that's my time for tonight and for 2021. Again, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for listening. And thanking you all for helping me get live from the cheap seats off the ground this year and really just making this like home. I'm looking right now at all the likes right now, and this is the second highest I've ever had. 20 is the mark. So another 3 or 4 likes on this show, and I've hit the mark. So if y'all want to give me a nice little New Year's Eve present like this show, subscribe to North Sports Dynasty on all social media platforms. Follow me on Twitter at Andrew_Faubert. I like to go at some of the fan bases. I literally started Twitter to troll Kevin Durant for leaving my Thunder back in the day. Now I literally just do it because there's a great base of fans out there. There's a great amount of fun to be had on that thing sometimes. And I like to make sure that people aren't going overboard, because it's another thing that I do. I'm like this nice little gray Jedi. I'll kill all the bad people and all the good people who are trying to overstep their boundaries. That's just what I do. So thank you all again. 2021, it has been different. We started off on a bad foot, but we're getting better. Hopefully 2022, I'll see you, ladies and gentlemen, in Tampa. But if not, you know what we are going to see? This team at least going for 2, because we clinched the NFC South and we've clinched the playoff berth. That means we get a shot again this year, no matter what happens the next 2 weeks. Thank you all again for tuning in. Like, share, follow Bucs Report and all your social media articles that they throw out. Give them a read. Give them a like, a follow, a share, and all that kind of stuff. Thank you all again. I'm going to get out of here because now I'm just rambling. My fiance is even looking at me like, come on. Come on. I went to laugh on you, you sexy Canadian ginger bastard. Plus, it's minus 46 out there, and she's cold. So, gotta go, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you in the new year. Have a great one. Go Bucs. Going for 2. Much love. Bye.
T minus 20 seconds.